think it's working. I think I started the stream. I think I started the correct stream. Let me just double check. Yeah, I think I did. All right, awesome. Hello, welcome. I'm not sure exactly how long I'm going to stream. I kind of just want to look at this article about being correct about Taylor Swift and Blake Lively, which is not a surprise to me or to anybody who knows jack shit about Taylor Swift. But Taylor Swift has been like dismissed from her subpoena thing, and it was what I was hoping for. Oh, I'm very quiet. Let me look at my microphone. Oh, it's because my microphone was all the way down at like 20. Thank you very much for the catch. Hopefully this is better. Do I sound better now? Does it sound better? How we doing? Also, so I'm excited about this. I got new lighting. I'm not gonna stream with this on because it's a little bit overkill. But I placed an order from Five Below yesterday, and I got among other things a towel printed like a stick of butter that my cat is obsessed with and won't let me use because when I took it out she immediately jumped on it. But I also got like a sunset lamp thing, and I'm not entirely positive how it works, but I could potentially figure out how to put myself in bisexual lighting in future videos. So that's cool. I'm not planning on streaming, but like we could we could bring somebody to hell, you know? Like there's a lot we can do with this. So I'm excited about that. Keep your eye out for the sunset lamp thing in future videos. But yeah, so I just want to look at this article about the subpoena for Taylor Swift being dropped, and I'm gonna put myself in the attic. I was listening to Midnights as I was getting ready to stream, and the lyric where she says, "Don't put me in the basement when I want the penthouse," I laughed because it made me think about Justin Baldoni sitting in the basement. Do you think Justin Baldoni listens to Bejeweled? Do you think he listens to Bejeweled and he he listens to Bejeweled and he really resonates with the "Don't put me in the basement" line, and that's why they made a big deal out of it? Oh, thank you for my bylighting pass. Awesome. Perfect. Sorry, you can hear my phone plugging and unplugging. I'm just gonna unplug it so you don't have to keep hearing that. It barely charges. Also, this is so silly, but I feel like it tells you so much about like who I am, right? So I'm gonna talk about it. In addition to my little Five Below purchase, I bought a new phone case, and it is the exact same as my old phone case because it is a cheap and good phone case that I know will not let my phone break when it falls a million times. And the old one was falling apart so fucking badly. Like, this shit was hanging on by an actual thread. And it was coming apart, and there's like entire bits on the bottom that were missing. I can't justify spending more on a phone case when I know that I could pay like $10 or whatever for one that saved my phone so many times, and there weren't like other yellow options, so I just bought the same yellow phone case a second time. He listens to Bejeweled while seething about nice pool. Right, exactly. Okay, so this is what I was like hoping for. I don't know that they are like, I don't know whether or not they're gonna try to drag Taylor in to testify or something. I would assume they might still try to do that. I think they can do that without subpoenaing her, right? It would be like a different thing to call her as a witness or whatever. Obviously I'm not super aware of all the court stuff. I've just been looking around. But Taylor Swift no longer subpoenaed by Justin Baldoni in surprise reversal for Blake Lively legal dispute. Earlier in May, the pop superstar, who's longtime friends with Lively, was sent a document subpoena by Baldoni's lawyers. Justin Baldoni has dropped the document subpoena that was issued to Taylor Swift in his ongoing legal battle with the singer's friend Blake Lively. A spokesperson for Lively confirmed the news on Thursday, May 22nd, saying in a statement obtained by People that they are pleased Baldoni's legal team has withdrawn their harassing subpoenas to Taylor Swift and her law firm. We supported the efforts of Taylor's team to quash these inappropriate subpoenas directed to her counsel, and we will continue to stand up for any third party who is unjustly harassed or threatened in the process, adds the spokesperson. The Baldoni and Wayfarer team have tried to put Taylor Swift, a woman who has been an inspiration for tens of millions across the globe, at the center of this case since day one, Lively's rep claimed. Exploiting Taylor Swift's celebrity was the original plan in Melissa Nathan's scenario planning document, and it continues to this day. Faced with having to justify themselves in federal court, they folded. At some point, they will run out of distractions from the actual claims of sexual harassment and retaliation they are facing. Reps for Baldoni did not immediately respond to People's requests for comment. A rep for Swift has not commented to People. Here's my thing. Tree Payne would have corrected that. If Tree Payne did not like that, Tree Payne would have responded. So I at first, when I glanced at this, I did think that it was another statement from Taylor about this, but Tree has not commented on this yet. If you're not in on the Swiftie lore, Tree Payne is Taylor Swift's publicist. When there's like a representative for Taylor, that's usually Tree Payne, and when it says sources close to Taylor, it's usually nothing. This has neither of those. This doesn't have a source for Justin Baldoni, and it does not have a source for Taylor. It just has Blake Lively's legal team's statement, which is correct. And it's by this staff editor guy. I just want to see what other articles he's putting out. Okay. So we've got how Rob Always Sunny is supporting Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively in difficult Justin Baldoni legal battle. But we've also got Kevin Spacey says he's not bitter as he returns to spotlight after a few challenging years. And we've also got one of these, Taylor Swift and Blake Lively's friendship has halted. Singer wants no part in this drama. He also did. Blake Lively threatened to leak Taylor Swift texts if Singer didn't publicly support her, claimed Justin Baldoni's lawyer. So this is a guy who's been publishing all of this saga, and he had to publish the fact that that it was dismissed. Before I was more well versed in Taylor lore, I got so confused when people would reference Tree. I was like T-Pain. Yeah. So I think this guy has been I don't like that he's writing about Amber Heard too. It seems like they're positive articles, but still I don't like it. Is Amy Schumer the unnamed celebrity stranger Hilaria Baldwin calls out in new book? I hope I never meet her. We need to talk about Blake Lively's comically large sun hat in another simple favor. Do we need to? Yeah, so Taylor is not being subpoenaed. As I said, I think they might try to call her in as a witness later, but that's like a long time from now. That's like a year from now when there's going to actually be court. And it seems like Justin was the one who dropped it. So yeah, I mean, I really like that Blake's statement is reminding people that Taylor has been in that scenario planning document this whole time. I think that's a really solid thing to remind people of. And I got a comment the other day. That was like, "You're lying. Brian Friedman wouldn't lie." And I think it's maybe the funniest thing anyone's ever said to me. Brian Friedman would lie. Brian Friedman lies a lot. Hard-hitting journalism about big hat. The sun hat is cute. The sun hat is very cute. Emma Stone accosted by bee. Woman wears hat. Yeah. The thing is, though, yeah, Jules, they got the headline they wanted. This is what I've been thinking about, too, because I saw, as of yesterday, I think it was yesterday, Candace Owens had a whole stream about Taylor Swift and Blake Lively, and asserting that Taylor Swift is on Team Justin Baldoni now, which would never happen and has never happened. So all they needed to do was put it in the discourse, and a bunch of people now, for years, the same way that they believe that Amber Heard shit in Johnny Depp's bed or whatever, they're going to believe that Blake Lively tried to threaten Taylor Swift. Like, they just are. People are commenting on my live streams where I'm going over all of the many, many reasons why it is clear that Taylor Swift supports Blake Lively, and saying, no, you're lying. Brian Friedman would never lie. Of course Blake Lively is threatening Taylor Swift because she's so scared she's going to have to pay $400 million. And it's like, no, you're just being fooled by the same shit over and over again. The same shit that was already written in a goddamn planning scenario document for this exact thing. I just hate that. Also, I'm planning on doing more research about this off of live, because I don't want to get copyright strikes about it, and I keep putting off, because I feel like in order to report on the misogyny slop about Hailey Bieber, I need to actually watch some of it, and I have not had the strength to do that, but I am thinking quite a lot about Hailey Bieber recently. This is something that we've talked about on stream before. I'm gonna actually, because we've said the update about this. Let me just, I'm gonna update the agenda text for the sake of anybody just popping in. So I've been thinking a lot about Hailey Bieber lately, because if you haven't already seen it, she was recently on the cover of Vogue. And when she was on the cover of Vogue, Justin Bieber posted some shit and was like, wow, this reminds me of a big fight we had where I told her she would never be on the cover of Vogue, and I guess I was sadly mistaken. And then after that has been like out, and there's lots of screenshots of it and stuff, he like updated the fucking caption to a bunch of like cryptic emojis and a shrug. I hate Justin Bieber. I've said as much before. I hate him. I do not like the way that he treats his wife. I feel like there have been several times, even just in recent memory, where it seems like he has done like an intentional cutting down of Hailey Bieber, and I hate that. I hate it a lot. I hated the shit that I was seeing about her on Mother's Day when he posted some shit, and then he was also like publicly making a big grand gesture of apologizing to her. I have a lot of empathy for Hailey Bieber, even though she's not like somebody who I know a lot about or care a lot about, because I feel like what I've been seeing already is I've been seeing the hate train on her, which I've only recently kind of solidified. For a long time, I've thought Scooter Braun has something to do with that, but I didn't know the specifics. But now we know that Justin Bieber owes a lot of money to Scooter Braun. And so my thought is either, one, Scooter Braun had the agency group put the hate train on Hailey just like to warn Justin and say we could do this to you, or even just as likely to me, they might be running the same playbook on both Justin and Hailey, and it's only taking off on Hailey because everybody fucking hates women. Like, it makes sense to me that Scooter Braun, who is the majority owner in the agency group, and also who fucking sorry, there's just so much about Scooter Braun. Scooter is friends. Scooter is friends with Justin Baldoni. Scooter probably is the one who started the hate train against Hailey Bieber. Hailey Bieber is the woman in the screenshot when Justin Baldoni was going shopping for a woman to run a hate train, like the one who he said we would need something like this. It was about a screenshot about Hailey Bieber being a bully. And so I don't think that Justin is running a bot hate campaign against his wife, but I think in a way Justin is also running a hate campaign against his wife because he's being like publicly emotionally abusive to her. And so she is dealing with like, and I know she gets shit for being a nepo baby, but I don't give a fuck. Do you know who her dad is? Do you know, like, I get it. Hailey Bieber, she grew up rich, she's a Baldwin. Do we know who the fucking Baldwins are? Are we just forgetting because we enjoy hating women? The Baldwins fucking suck. If Stephen Baldwin parents anything like Alec Baldwin, I'm pretty sure she had a terrible childhood. And I have reason to believe that she might have had an even more terrible childhood than if her dad was Alec, because her dad is the born-again Christian one. Her dad is the evangelical, anti-abortion Donald Trump voting guy. Like, what the fuck are we doing here? I don't give a shit that she grew up rich. I don't. That doesn't remove her from my empathy. It, in fact, makes me feel like she might have been more inclined to feel like this relationship with this man who was like the most famous teenage boy or whatever. Like, I don't think that her thinking that he was going to save her or whatever gives her the upper hand in the relationship. And yet people are doing the whole shit where they're like, she stalked him and she came and stole him away from us. I mean she was stalking him, but it's very clearly people are fucking jealous. They don't like the narrative that, like, a fan could have been a good enough fan to get married, but was Hailey and not them, I think is a lot of it. Thank you so much. I really am so happy that the chat is so excited about this. I feel like the short video Kara Bra posted today would be a nice summary and introduction that more or less mirrors your feelings on the topic. I'll definitely check that out. I think she follows me. I know I follow her. I've seen a couple of her videos. I really like her. I'll definitely check that out. Yes, I've also been thinking Scooter is absolutely the most likely culprit at this point. I think so too, Maggie. Yeah. I think it's a bit of everything too. I think it's possibly even just some of it is organic because they're fans of Justin. Some of it is fans of Selena Gomez who are going too hard. And just like some of the people who hate Selena Gomez are fans of Hailey Bieber who are going too hard. Like, it is a fucking mess, but it's not a mess that I blame on Hailey Bieber at all. And I think, again, especially given her family, she would not have a lot of support if she did decide to leave him. And even if she did have a supportive family, she just had a baby with him like less than a year ago. So culturally, she would be completely and totally destroyed for leaving him while she still has his newborn. Like, she's in between a rock and a hard place. It's funny, tragic, sort of funny, that every time one of these hate campaigns get big, the worst you ever tend to hear about the woman in question is she's a mean girl at fourth grade. It absolutely is. I don't know her, but whenever I see online a woman being hated, I immediately start thinking who's actually behind that. I've learned so much since Amber Heard. I completely agree. Let me actually, I just was sending links about this the other night to Allie, so I can pull it up quick. But here's another reason why I will never entertain the idea that Selena Gomez is the one behind the hate trains. And I mean, I guess technically this could be about anything, but I feel like considering the timing of everything, as I've said, we just had that recent thing with the Mother's Day thing, which, you know, that sucked. It's like, it was her first Mother's Day and he had to make it about himself, and then so many people were like weighing in, and it's just like, it just sucked. But anyway, okay, so let me actually, I will pull up, I got the pop bass post from Blue Sky about it. And then I have a Reddit post. Yeah, her dad, Steven, is like, he's the Christian one. I have vague memories of having a DVD of his, like, Live in It ministry thing, which I believe was an attempt to be Christian Tony Hawk. Anyway, here is what Justin Bieber posted after his wife was on the cover of Vogue. This reminds me when we got into a huge fight. I told her she would never be on the cover of Vogue. Yikes, I know. Baby, you already know, but forgive me for saying you wouldn't, because clearly I was sadly mistaken. And then also, though, so, this is from Selena Gomez, and she also had liked an Instagram post about how Hailey Bieber's Hailey Bieber's makeup brand is going to be in Sephora, and I guess there had previously people were thinking that Selena Gomez has the final call on whether or not Hailey Bieber's makeup brand gets sold in Sephora. But anyway, Selena liked the announcement, but then she also just posted this, where it says, "You matter, your voice matters, your heart matters, you are worth so much more than you know." And the caption says, "You know who you are, and I'm cheering you on." And that could be about anything, and I usually am very, very resistant to bringing Selena Gomez's actions and claiming that they are influenced by the Biebers, because I feel like Selena Gomez has very much moved on. But this makes sense to me that it would possibly be about Hailey, and I think this is sweet. There are some people in this Reddit thread who are saying that they think that it's performative or whatever, but I think there's something really, really relatable about the thought of, like, watching your abusive ex's new partner be emotionally abused on a very large scale, and, like, wanting to say something even though you're not on messaging terms. And also, like, it's impossible to even say things to your friends a lot of the time. Which, like, I was talking to Marty McFlone about that the other night. Like, there's almost no way that this is not about Hailey Bieber, right? I don't think most of what Selena does is about Hailey and Justin, but, like, Selena has been very open. Yes, yeah, Selena said that Justin abused her emotionally previously, and Justin confessed that he did too. Exactly. That's why I'm very, I think, it's not performative, it's just something that happened that she did in public. And also her doing it in public is, like, it's a good example to set for other women too. Like, this was probably, like, mildly helpful to other people. Yeah, it's an Instagram post. They're always performative, doesn't make it fake. People just get mad when a woman is nice to other women. I agree. I think it's a nice gesture. I think it's a really nice gesture. It makes me think of the song Newspaper by Fiona Apple, which is one of the greatest songs of all time. So that's also another reason why I like this Instagram post. But yeah, so I think, to me, I've never even entertained the idea that the hate train against Hailey was Selena Gomez's fault. At least not in terms of being something that she was actually paying for. But I do think that Hailey Bieber has it rough right now. I think Hailey Bieber is in a really difficult position, and I think the fact that so many people have so many different angles where they want to jump on, because there are, certain YouTube channels who are big fans of Selena Gomez, who are such big fans of Selena Gomez that they find it a neutral thing to sit and react to, like, an 8-part video series about misogyny slop about Hailey Bieber. Some of it is influenced just by, like, I like my team and that makes me hate the other team. But the phrase "girl's girl" rarely actually means anything, but I think that making a statement that is, like, vague and doesn't directly put the current partner on the spot, but that also, like, gives a little bit of, like, hope and validation and, like, I'm rooting for you, I think that is a girl's girl behavior. I think this was a girl's girl thing for Selena Gomez to do, to post that Instagram story. The Hailey haters are so creepy. They're as obsessed with her as they claim she is with Selena and Sabrina. It's so obsessive. I actually a couple of months ago I posted on Blue Sky, because I got a screenshot, not a screenshot, I got a thumbnail for a video where it had, like, a picture of Selena Gomez on one side and a picture of Hailey on the other one, and it was like, she copied everything. But it was that guy who is Nick is Not Green's brother, who copied his entire YouTube channel from his brother, who copied his entire YouTube channel from, like, 6 other commentary guys. Like, I think about that constantly. The fact that somebody who is, like, it's fine. It's fine to just make popcorn regurgitated commentary as long as you're not doing misogyny slop. But, like, if you are making misogyny slop and you're saying that the worst thing somebody can do is copy another person, I'm gonna need a little tiny bit more originality in your YouTube videos. I'm gonna need you to at least have a bit and not just be one of a million guys who sits down and talks about the same TikTok shit. Like, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I didn't even watch the video. And the thumbnail was like, one of them was wearing dark lipstick and the other one wasn't. And I was like able to just Google a little bit and find pictures of them that looked more similar than the ones that were used. And I was just like, oh my god, people will do fucking whatever. Commentary is just slop, and they'll even call themselves slop to reclaim it. There's some commentary that I really enjoy, but a lot of shit is just misogyny slop, and they're just repeating it amongst each other. And once you notice that, it's hard not to notice it, because a lot of TikTok drama also comes down to just picking a woman to make fun of. So I have a hard time. I've talked about this recently with Little Shop of Alley too, where I got a lot pickier about what kind of videos I want to watch once I started making videos. Which is to say, yeah, I don't watch or trust either of those particular greens either, Maggie. I don't. Yeah, sadly, videos or posts like that get a lot of views, and then the comment section is the worst. The comment section on those are always fucking horrible. And then if somebody does try to like push back and be like, hey, is this just a hate train? They're like jumped on and swarmed. Two women wear similar basic outfits months apart. Wow, what the fuck? She's copying her. What a creepy stalker. Exactly. Yeah. They're doing it big time to Gracie Abrams lately too. I saw a Reddit post the other night, and I didn't read the Substack article that was linked, but I saw some screenshots from a Substack article, and it was somebody who was writing, and they were like, I'm afraid of the influence that Gracie Abrams will have on my daughter, because her most popular song is I love you, I'm sorry, and I pray to God that those words never cross my daughter's lips. But I'm not concerned about Sabrina Carpenter, by the way. I'm only concerned about concerned about Gracie Abrams. I think Gracie Abrams is uniquely bad for young women. And I thought it was wild. I kind of want to go read that. Because it was just like, it was so dramatic, and I think that the person who was writing it was being serious. I think they thought they were doing something. But I mean, Gracie Abrams is not my favorite. I will admit, and this is not very nice, but I think it's okay to have a joke that's not very nice as long as you're not being cruel. Most of the time when I hear a Gracie Abrams song, it's because my Spotify auto-shuffled, and I think, wow, this Lorde song is a lot less good than her other songs. And then I check, and it's Gracie. Which is like not her fault, but I'm always like, why is this Lorde song not very good? And then it's Gracie, and I'm like, oh yeah. But like, it's fine, and I know a lot of people like her, and it's fine for them to like her, especially because a lot of them are like young women and teenage girls. Like, I'm never gonna be like, no, this is terrible. But like, she's not. I don't find her to be doing anything harmful. I love you, I'm sorry could mean a million things in a million contexts. Right. The song literally just apologizes for having been a bad partner. I pray to God that my daughter never apologizes for being a bad partner. I could have respected it if it was a bit tongue-in-cheek and more like, I don't mind my daughters being whores, but I draw the line at them liking lame emo shit. Yeah, I was looking at it, and I was thinking, like, this is a bit, right? And then somebody was like, it's really hard to find, like, feminist commentary, and I was like, okay. Yeah, I'm like, that's so weird. Why is Phoebe Bridgers writing so much worse here? Oh, it's Gracie Abrams. Wait, who's CWHM? Cruel World Happy Mind? Just, oh my god, Cruel World Happy Mind is using Candace Owens as a source? Fuck. Wow. I haven't watched a Cruel World Happy Mind video in a very long time, but that takes off the list forever. Holy shit. Cruel World Happy Mind just posted a video about the Biebers, which unfortunately features long clips of Candace Owens. Great way to undercut the intention of a video and your own credibility. I completely agree. Jesus fuck. Holy shit. Wow. How do people think that that's just, like, neutral? And also, like, you can find anything else. Like, you can find other ways to make your point. You can make your point yourself, rather than being like, I have to use clips of Candace Owens saying this, because, like, I'm able to make my argument that Justin Bieber owes money to Scooter Braun based on many, many headlines about that. Like, I don't need to go find Candace saying that. I have a brain that works, and I came to my own conclusions. I got some sus vibes from some video about a year ago. Yeah, I can't remember when I tuned out, but I tuned out at some point because there was, like, a little bit of, like, ooh, we're always talking about women, huh? Honestly, if a YouTuber starts using the same sources my dad uses for his conspiracies, then I stop listening to what they have to say, as I do with my dad. That's so real. That's valid. Mm-hmm. I don't hate, but I find a lot of anti-MLM channels start teetering on misogyny slop precipice because they need to keep the money flowing, but there's only so much you can say about multi-level marketing before it gets repetitive. I completely agree. I really, really agree. I do think that there's, so, like, I need to get like a I need to get, like, a big whiteboard that I can start mapping out different corners of the misogyny slop ecosystem in. But so, like, obviously misogyny slop ecosystem is mostly happening around these women who are high profile cases of, like, abuse and domestic violence and stuff. But there's also corners of the misogyny slop ecosystem that are self-sustaining, again, based on random women people hate from TikTok, and based on, you know, this multi-level marketing person is the worst woman in the world, which, like, yeah, multi-level marketing fucking sucks. And, like, I have had a long-standing special interest in multi-level marketing and pyramid schemes, and specifically the way that they target women and, like, military wives in particular, because I grew up near a military base. And also, not only did I, like, see it because I grew up near a military base, but I lived with an aunt of mine, and she took me to a party one time, like a one of those, like, sales parties things, that a coworker's daughter of hers was doing, and it was a multi-level marketing thing called Damsel in Defense, and it was literally like a, like, pink sparkly girl boss, legally questionable whether or not you're allowed to own them in the state they were selling them, stun guns and pepper sprays and stuff. I have always been fucking fascinated by multi-level marketing. But so many people want to talk about it and not talk about, like, the predatory nature of so much of this. Like, they don't want to talk about, sorry, one second. I don't know why I'm beeping. But they don't want to talk about, like, how fucking predatory it is, and it just, yeah. Oh my gosh! Whiteboard money, thank you so much! Wow, thank you so much. Whiteboard money, also, this work is so massively, massively important, and I cannot thank you enough for facilitating these conversations. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much for the super chat. I've noticed some anti-MLM channels will randomly just point out the appearances of the women trapped in these multi-level marketing schemes, just random jokes about their bodies or clumpy eyelashes. Yes, that is such a thing. It's such a thing. Oh, I knew it was Discord, but I thought maybe you were DMing me again, Sunny. I thought maybe I had some microphone issues, so I was checking, but I muted it. Oh, I have not watched Cece Suarez, but I have heard some things. I think Cece Suarez is somebody who I've heard people say that is one of those creators who thinks that they're being very clever when they insult people and, like, enjoys insulting people just a little bit too much, and that is another thing that throws up my red flags, if I'm being honest. I really try not to be super insulting, and if I am going to insult somebody, I'm going to insult them based on their behavior and not based on, like, appearance. Moonicat is a fantastic. I really like Moonicat. Cruel World Happy Mind was also majorly using Dad Challenge podcast as a source recently. Yucky, I hate that. Have you thought about trademarking Misogyny Slop Ecosystem? Just curious, not saying you should one way or another. I would definitely not. I would not trademark it. I've honestly been really amazed and thrilled, and it is beyond anything that I have ever, like, expected that I'm getting any credit at all when other people use it. I got really lucky, I think, as far as I'm concerned. I got really lucky that Taylor Lorenz was the first person who decided to also start using Misogyny Slop Ecosystem, and she made a point of crediting me for being the one who coined it. And because she made a point of it, it means that I have gotten some other pieces of credit for naming it, which has been really amazing. But no, I wouldn't, like, copyright it or try to monetize it or anything. Honestly, as long as it continues to mean what it actually means, I'm really happy with other people using it and talking about it, because it's, like, something I think about so fucking much. Yeah, no, I would not copyright. I love when other people, I love that other people are using Misogyny Slop Ecosystem. A lot of anti-multi-level marketing follow a similar pattern as snark pages, more about hating an individual than the system that created them, i.e. funny beliefs are horrible, but they're also literally indoctrinated. I completely agree. Yes. I think the snark Reddits feed so much into the Misogyny Slop ecosystem. It's so much part of it. And that's also part of why, like, you know, not to make it about myself, but, like, I think that the fact that I am vocal about this kind of shit is part of why my snark Reddit hates me so much, because I'm making them confront their own behaviors. But, like, I think it makes a lot of sense that the kind of people who talk against a Misogyny Slop ecosystem are likely to have a fucking snark Reddit about them. And one of my first videos that I made last year, when I was, like, first getting into the swing of making videos, I made a video specifically about the Fundy snark Reddit, because they go way too far making fun of those women, and they make fun of those women in such a way that makes it impossible to imagine that the women would feel comfortable trying to go into the real world. Like, you have the church telling you one thing, and then you also have a dedicated group of obsessive secular haters who are posting about how your coloring changed after you, like, got dick or whatever. Like, what the fuck? I think it's nasty. The way the Fundy Snark sub has turned on certain women in the ex-religious content space is damning. IMO, really wild behavior. I agree. So happy for you. You got credited in Taylor Lorenz's and Shakespeare's video for this genius term. Thank you so much. Me too. I was so excited. I love a gossip channel, but something about snark Reddit gets a little unhinged. I love how unapologetic you are in your conversations and critiques. I find it inspirational, genuine. Thank you so much. Thank you. My mom raised me selling an MLM, though it wasn't in the beginning, just became an MLM after a guy joined. It's just sad how people talk about women who are in MLMs. Yes, I completely agree. I have, I like Savvy Writes books, and I don't think that I have anybody else off the top of my head who I would say, like, this is somebody who talks about multi-level marketing women and who I don't think has ever given me misogyny vibes. Like, I don't get that from Savvy. And that's impressive to me, because Savvy talks about a lot of women. But I feel like when Savvy talks about, like, girl bosses or whatever, it's not leaning into, like, and also we hate these bitches, which is, like, the undercurrent behind much commentary YouTube is just, and also we hate these bitches. Astrology is the worst, but I wish people wouldn't focus on the women of it all. The person I knew who was using astrology for hiring in the workplace was a man / this is why I think it's bad. Savvy's a national treasure. I agree. I love Savvy. Yeah, same. Savvy and Moonicat are the only people I'd recommend for that flavor of critical content. Agree. Yes. The Moonicat video about, like, body language is fucking fantastic. think they should talk about the companies, not random people who are part of it. Right. That's the thing, is like, it's not about the ultra specific, ultra diamond platinum whatever lady who gets to go on a cruise. It's about the fact that there's a company set up that has like hundreds and thousands of people in her downline who are funding that, and that's where they're putting their money, and the way that they are like being predatory. I also think there's I don't know, like, I would be interested to know how many men are really high up in these MLMs compared to like how many videos are about men who are in MLMs, right? Because a lot of these women will like retire their husbands, and then they like include their husband, and their husband also gets really high up in the multi-level marketing, and then I don't know of like famous multi-level marketing men to the same level as I do women, even though it's often like a couple affair. Yeah. I think somebody else also mentioned it earlier, but regarding Hailey Bieber, Hailey has been pro-abortion, and Hailey has been pro-abortion multiple times. I've heard that she is like pro-abortion in terms of like, sorry, I just lost my train of thought. I'm seeing the astrology conversation on the chat. Oh fuck, I really lost my train of thought. But she's been pro-abortion before, in terms of specifically working with pro-choice brands with her makeup brand, is what I heard, and that made me like her quite a bit, compared to just not really knowing anything about her. But I liked that, and then I also looked it up, and she's made a few statements. Like in 2023, she posted about abortion. She posted about Planned Parenthood specifically, and there are lots of headlines about that because people are being like, oh, and Justin is pro-life, so she shouldn't have said this. What if his mommy aborted him, which I think would have been awesome. I think it would have been fucking awesome if Justin Bieber's teen mom got an abortion, but nobody asked me. But also last year during the election, she posted about how it is it's crucial to vote for reproductive justice, and that she understands that as a new mom. And I think that it's awesome to make a point of posting like that when you have like a newborn who you had on purpose. I think that that's really cool. And so knowing that there's so much shit being talked about her, I always feel kind of like guilty when I find out that I actually like one of these women I'm looking into, because I shouldn't need to like them to defend them, and I wouldn't. But when I do look into them and I'm like, oh wait, she's kind of a badass, I'm like, well, I shouldn't have to. I shouldn't have to think she's kind of a badass to think that she doesn't deserve this. But like the fact that she's pro-abortion does make me like her. Popping in to say a quick thank you to Ophi for creating t-shirts that will support abortion funds nationwide. We heart pro-abortion funds. Thank you so much. Yes, I have the Womb World t-shirts linked in the description below. Let's look at this together, because we have sold a few more today, and it's been a moment since I have given an update on how much money we've raised, but I'm really, really excited. So let's see how many we've sold and how much we've raised. These are the Womb World t-shirts. I'm finally washing mine, because I wore it a couple times this week. We have raised $214, which means everybody gets at least $1 or $2 when it gets split between the 94 funds nationwide. And we have sold 18 shirts. So I'm really super excited about this. I'm going to run another campaign once this one is over, in case anybody had been like waiting to get paid and didn't quite get it. But I'm so excited about the abortion t-shirts. I'm really excited that we're almost at 20. I did not expect to sell so many, honestly. So I'm just really excited. I'm really happy about being able to donate money for abortion access, especially because damn well Justin Baldoni is not pro-abortion, right? Like, we know that. So if you're interested in a Womb World t-shirt, we have this t-shirt right here. It comes in all kinds of different colors. I really love the one that I got. The one that I got is this ice blue one, because I felt like it was like a nice little trans rights vibe with the pink text and the white text. But you could also get yellow. There's multiple different pinks because I felt like we needed lots of pinks because it's Womb World. I'm really, really excited about the fundraiser, and I'm really excited. $214 is 1/3 the cost of an abortion. That's awesome. That's a lot more that's a lot more worth of something worthwhile than I was afraid that I would raise. I was honestly a little scared that it was going to be like $50 I was going to be trying to have them split. So I'm really, really excited about this. And as far as I know, it ships worldwide. So I believe it should be able to ship to Brazil. I'm not positive. We might have wild tariff situations or whatever. So I'm not positive what the deal is with that. But as far as I know, it ships worldwide. And I got it just within like a couple of days of ordering mine. I think these all ship out after the 30th. I don't think anybody else has gotten theirs yet. I think I only got mine because I was able to order like a sample. But as far as I know, it does ship everywhere. T-shirt would be a great baby shower gift. We were joking before I had the shirts officially launched. We were joking about doing maternity shirts that said I went to Womb World and all I got was this little bump. Yeah, I think shipping is probably going to be a lot. But we also the donation link for that Act Blue is also linked in the Bonfire campaign. So if you did just want to donate without getting a shirt, that's also completely an option. I'm gonna buy another shirt later today actually because I want to have it in multiple colors. So we'll have another shirt come out. But I think that's funny. Maybe when we do the second run, we'll have the little bump one and the lousy t-shirt one running side by side. You're not making yourself like them. You're just finding that out as you look into things in order to defend them. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah. What if this person's mom aborted them is a nothing argument? We wouldn't know or care if they had, right? Most badass women are controversial just for being badass. Right. That's the other thing is like, I think I'm more likely to find things that a woman who makes people angry enough to run a hate campaign against her has done that I like, because that's more likely to be my kind of lady. So like, again, the more I've dug up about, Amber Heard and Blake Lively and stuff, the more I'm like, wait a minute, maybe there is actually stuff I like here. But even if I didn't, I would still think that it was bullshit, which I can confirm with myself because I don't particularly like Katy Perry, and I think the way Katy Perry is being treated is bullshit. So like, and same deal with JoJo Siwa. Like, I didn't force myself into becoming a JoJo Siwa fan just because I think that the way that they're treated is not fair. It's a hard it's a hard balance of like, wait, am I setting a tone like you have to like somebody to think this is unfair? But also I just like somebody more when they're pro-abortion. I like somebody more when they're willing to stand up for reproductive justice. I'm not sorry about that. I totally agree. That's why I'm always like, Blake Lively is allowed to be a bitch if she was one, and if you don't like her, don't hire her, don't harass her. Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, it still ships, but the tariffs are pretty nuts right now. That's what I thought too. Yes. OMG, yes, with the Katy Perry thing, I don't care for her, but this has been intense and coordinated and way over the top. Why is everybody siding with a nun who said that it would be a sin to sell to Katy Perry? I'm sorry, fuck that old dead nun. I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit. I don't want it enshrined into law and public opinion that it matters whether or not a religious person thinks that it's a sin to sell something to the I kissed a girl woman. It is weird and regressive to play into that. What the fuck? What the fuck? Oh, it's so Katy Perry killed a nun. I don't feel bad for that nun. I don't feel bad for that nun because it sounds like the nun was homophobic, and it sounds like most nuns are homophobic because, you know, I don't know why we're pretending like the Catholic Church has suddenly done nothing wrong. I think the Catholic Church has done more to provide cover to rapists than Katy Perry did for Luke. I think Katy Perry also did that for Dr. Luke, but like, if we're going beat for beat here, I don't think Catholics are better at not protecting rapists. Sorry. That's like a very harsh way to put it, but just people kind of do piss me off a little bit because like it is a little tiny bit funny until you look further into it when people are talking about the nun thing. But like I don't know. Can't stand current Katie, and I will make fun of anyone with that much money doing recreational space trips if they aren't redistributing wealth, but my standards are too high, and I can do that without hatred. Exactly. That's also something that I've brought up before when I've talked about Katy Perry, is I do have friends who have been annoyed by every single one of those celebrity vanity space trips where they go up to the edge of the atmosphere. I have friends who have been annoyed by all of those, and when those people were annoyed by the all-woman space flight, I didn't really care, because I was like, yeah, sure. But a lot of people only cared about the space flight because it was all women, and like that did make me feel weird about it, because fucking Shatner comes back and he's understood as like this thoughtful and intellectual guy who had such a deep moment that Jeff Bezos was interrupting, and then the women go up and have a completely different reaction to them. And on the one hand, yeah, that might have been because this was the first one during Trump too. Like, there are also a lot of outside circumstances, and I don't think anybody is wrong to be annoyed by this. The thing I'm most annoyed by is the fact that we're pretending like there haven't been woman astronauts for like so long, like for as long as we've been going to space. Like, so many of the first people in space have been women, but we are lowering the standard of what an astronaut is just to put more people in it. And that's like if we decided that you are a pilot just because you flew on a plane. Like, I don't like the fact that you can just be rich enough to be called an astronaut. And I don't think anybody needs to be wasting resources going to space if the space travel is not like for the good of mankind or whatever. Like, if you're getting more information for the rest of the people who live on the planet, fine, whatever, you can go to space. But I think most people don't need to go to space. I think it's fine if you die on Earth like everybody else. Like, you don't need to have gone to space before you die on Earth. So, like, again, I don't mind people not liking the luxury space travel shit, because it's lame as fuck. And on the one hand, I do kind of think some backlash for that is deserved, but also it felt like, oh, of course the backlash was never going to happen to men. So many annoying tech bros want to colonize Mars and talk about building ugly pod hotels on the moon, but you don't see nearly as much vitriol towards that. Also, Learning Kesha said that Luke did similar things to Katie. She denied it, and maybe Kesha was misinformed, but what if she wasn't? Wouldn't that reframe the whole way we see that situation? That is, yeah, I think about it a lot. Somebody made the point last time we were talking about Kesha and Katy Perry on stream, where they said, the way Kesha was treated was intentional to silence other people. And so, like, it doesn't make the way that Katy Perry treated Kesha acceptable, but I do think that it makes it potentially a bit more understandable, yeah. Lots of Katie's actions deserve criticism, but the nun thing and people taking the nun side is so wild. I agree. My sympathy is always due to the hate campaigns being disproportionate when it's a woman. Remember the Tom Cruise crash out on set. Imagine if it was Blake. That is a really good point. That's a really good point. Somebody mentioned one time, like, if a woman refused the way that apparently Penn Bagley was refusing to kiss women who weren't his wife on You or whatever. If a woman set that same boundary, the conversation around it wouldn't be like, wow, that's sweet, what a dedicated marriage. It would be like, she's such a stuck-up prude bitch. Who does she think she is? She needs to get a different job. Like, I have heard of multiple men who have been like, I only want to kiss my wife, but I don't think that you could be an actress and say that you would only kiss your husband. Like, I don't think that is an option afforded to women. Just like being messy and crashing out on set or whatever is fine for men to do and not for women. Came in late, so had to stream on 2 times to catch up, and then suddenly going from that to real time was like running straight into a wall. Same with Meghan and Harry. I hate the royal family, but why do people hate the poor woman who married into the family and not the privileged arse that is her husband, who has always been problematic? Yes. Yeah, I don't give a fuck if Meghan was mean to the royal family, and I doubt she even was. I also really hate the way people act about Meghan Markle. Like, if you truly hate Meghan Markle, leave her alone. Just don't talk about her. Just don't give her attention. I heard more from people who fucking hated her little Netflix show than I did from people who liked it. That's weird. It's weird to get that riled up about how much you hate a woman. You can just move on. But again, we have like snark culture and misogyny slop culture, and nobody wants to move on. They want to bask in it and like relate to other people on the strength of how much they hate women. It's nasty. Thing is, you're also going to be called a whore if you're comfortable with kissing other men in films. Yeah. Yeah, the Meghan Markle shit is nuts. So evil. It's awful. I hate it. I don't understand how it's possible to, like, not just feel bad for her. Like, the strongest opinion that I think I can muster on Meghan Markle is, like, I think she's pretty. And I think that they tried to do Princess Diana 2 on her, and I'm glad that it didn't work. That's my Meghan Markle opinion. It's kind of wild that that's not just what's understood. Like, I don't understand how Meghan is not as beloved as like I mean, also I am a Princess Diana fan. I did not think that I could be convinced to give a shit about anybody in the royal family, and then I listened to the You're Wrong About episodes that Sarah Marshall and Michael Hobbs did about Princess Diana, and they made me cry a lot. And I've listened to that series multiple times, and I feel like there is a lot of overlap in like the way that it sounds like Meghan was treated, and in the way that Princess Diana was treated. I think anybody who wasn't part of that, like, royal family was always going to be on the other side of a power imbalance. Like, I understand she did have money, and she was already an actress over here, which also, like, it probably set her up to be a little bit more, like, independent than when they had a fucking kindergarten teacher being brought into all of this dysfunction and bullshit. But, like, I don't think that she was in a position of authority. And it's like the thing that we were talking about in that in the video about Cassie and the point of Darvo, where it's not actually hard to look at who would have the most systemic things against them compared to who is getting away with abusing them. But then people pretend like it's just so hard to pick out what the power dynamic is, and it's like, but it's right in front of you, and it's very obvious, actually. It's also Madonna whore complex in action. It's much easier to hate Meghan when you also have Kate Middleton as the good example. Princess Harry? I know that was a typo, but it made me laugh. Prince Harry is the most like his mother between the two princes. One thing I really respect Harry for is getting his wife out of the situation that destroyed his mom. I agree. I watched the Oprah interview and I really liked it. I liked it a lot. Hot take, but the Meghan Markle hate in Europe and the UK is not only misogyny and racism, but also a slight bit of xenophobia towards Americans. They hate and talk shit about anything American. That's an interesting perspective. I could see that. I could see that for sure. Didn't Sarah Marshall describe that series as about why your mom cried when Princess Diana died? Yes. I do remember my opinion of Diana going up and my opinion of the institution of the royal family going way down. Exactly. Yeah. They hated Kate Middleton before Meghan showed up. Suddenly Kate is amazing. All right, girl. It's the racism too. A large part of it, in my opinion, the sheer amount of racism thrown Meghan's way since the relationship was made public was insane. Yeah. The You're Wrong About series about Diana are some of my favorite podcast episodes ever. It's so good. It's so good. Yeah, I think Tanya Harding, Princess Diana, what's my other top three for You're Wrong About? Let me think for a second. There's so many good ones. I don't think they've finished... I don't think they ever finished the O.J. Simpson one, but I feel like Sarah was putting so much work into that one that I still want to mention it. I love You're Wrong About. It's such a good podcast. I was wondering how much of Meghan's supposed rudeness was just Meghan being more direct / communicating in an American way on top of the everything else. That also makes sense. The royal heads hate Americans so much. Oh, Sinead O'Connor. Oh, I don't know if I've listened to that one, actually. I fucking love You're Wrong About. Somebody told me one time that I had Sarah Marshall energy about the woman I defend, and it flattered me to no end. You're Wrong About is really, really good. I also just really like Michael Hobbs. I always end up going back to the older ones that was Michael and Sarah together because they're so good. Yeah, I love You're Wrong About. It's like the hidden reason. I know there's a term for it, but I can't remember it. But they can't openly hate Meghan Markle for her race because that's wrong. But they can get away with hating her for being American. Yeah. I don't know for sure. No, I do know for sure. I think even if a white American had married Prince Harry, there would be some level of people being mad about that, but I am positive that it would not be nearly as vicious as what Meghan Markle has to deal with. I am positive that the racism is a huge factor in it. It follows Harry's great uncle step down. I think there was another one before that. Oh yeah. I need to look into the Shia LaBeouf thing. That's not something that I want to research stream about because I feel like it's going to upset me a lot. But we definitely need to talk about Twigs and Shia. Because I'm concerned about that. And also, Friedman is representing Twigs, which is just, it's concerning. It's, I don't know. I really want her to win, and I mean, it's possible he could win, but from what I'm seeing is he's not a really great trial lawyer, and also we've seen him be shady and weird as fuck on this Blake Lively trial, and I'm just scared for her because I feel like she's being used by Friedman to prop up his credibility as like he cares about victims, but I'm not sure he actually cares about her. I'm like, sure he doesn't actually. Meghan isn't a doormat like Kate. She's into glam and has sass. She's sweet yet assertive. She's basically a target by default due to all of that. Rage bait about things Americans apparently do or say, usually very inaccurate or regionally specific, seems to be very popular these days. Yeah, I haven't seen a ton of specifics on why people are saying this, but I've also seen people talking, I think specifically in Baldoni Files, expressing concern about the way that he's handling her case. I saw Shia was in a new movie recently. It makes me so upset that people are still hiring him. Me too. Yeah, from what I remember of her claims against him, they were really, really bad too. Tara Mooney's video about how the media talks about both women is so eye-opening. People were trashing Meghan for doing the exact same shit that Kate was during their pregnancies. I think about that all the time. All the time. All the time. Kate puts her hand on her stomach and they're like, she lovingly, gently caresses her delicate little baby bump. And then you have Meghan doing the same thing and they're like, she possessively holds her fat stomach and she gained too much weight while she was pregnant and blah blah. Nasty work. Yeah. God. The avocado headlines. Yes, yeah, exactly. I get the feeling if Meghan Markle were English, I think they'd hate her for more vague reasons and bad vibes. God. I have really checked out of Kirsty ever since she made another video where she was really mad when I got in The Guardian, and she clearly hadn't read the article. I bet she'll make a video about the subpoena being released from Taylor, and she'll try to say that it's not. That it's a bad thing that Justin had to get rid of it because they're being bullied by the elites or whatever. I don't even click on videos about Chapel because the chances of it being just misogynistic / lesbophobic slop is way too high. Completely agree. Completely. Speaking of women who get disproportionate hate, any other Doechii fans here who have been pissed that people won't leave her alone? She just said that, like, straight men are a red flag or something like that? Like a completely normal and fine thing to say? People are dying for a reason to take her down a peg, which, like, in one hand, on the one hand, like, yeah, that's just general for when women are famous, but I hate it. I hate it a lot, and I feel like it's just nasty because, like, I have not seen her do a single thing where I've been like, ooh, terrible. And it's rare for somebody to actually be able to present me with something that I will think is terrible. But the only thing that I've actually seen that seems to have, like, spawned everything is that she said that straight men are a red flag. And, like, that's a fine thing for somebody to say, especially a queer woman. Like, fuck off. I think some of the Doechii hate is coming from the fact that she's on TDE, which is Kendrick's former label, and a lot of the hate are Nicki and Drake fans. All Doechii did was be gorgeous and have a catchy song. Exactly. She's right, straight men are cringe. Yeah. Lots of biphobia with the Doechii stuff. I agree. I agree. I think so too. Woman that writes songs about anxiety and crashing out has a singular diva moment in a very overstimulating environment. That's right. That's the other thing. Was her yelling for more umbrellas. I don't care. Whatever. I don't give a shit. I don't care. If her assistant really, really hated the way she yelled that she needs more fucking umbrellas, I bet she could find another assistant. I would probably not love that kind of work experience, but, like, she wasn't yelling at somebody in specific. She wasn't like, you are a terrible, nasty disappointment and I need an umbrella. She was like yelling that she needed more fucking umbrellas because she was trying to cover her outfit for the Met Gala. I don't give a shit. Whatever. It's a diva moment. You wouldn't last an hour with the divas of like even just like the 80s. Like, what? I don't care. When a woman demands her needs are met, she's a diva and a bitch and boo-hoo, tomato, tomato, tomato. Mm-hmm. People hate the anxiety song and it's not even bad at all. It's stuck in my head a lot. It's like all the time it's in my head. I like it. People get annoyed at that with Chapel too, though, where they pretend that songs that aren't bad are bad just because they don't like hearing them all the time. I was so happy Doechii was finally getting recognition as a bi, dark-skinned, brilliant artist, but of course it comes with all this bullshit. Yes, yeah. There's a lot of different angles on which I think people have been just like, even more so than is standard when somebody starts to rise. People have been very eager for an opportunity to take her down, and like the umbrella thing is not enough for me to care. I don't care. Also agree that it would be a really overstimulating area. Do you remember when she was called an industry plant and, quote, chosen dark skin, end quote, by Ice Spice? It's a lot of resentment when she's just a woman. I did not know that. That's sad. When are men ever called industry plants, by the way? Because I feel like that's always women, and often queer women specifically. What man is famously known as an industry plant? Can we think of any? I've been thinking about how people hate other people with famous parents, and like Jack Quaid is fine. Like I think there was a famous Nepo baby who said that Nepo baby is a gendered term and she got some shit for it, but I don't even think she's wrong. I think Nepo baby is how to say bitch without saying bitch. Yeah, it is. It is raining. It's been trying to rain for the last couple of days, and then it like finally actually started. I think it's supposed to rain like all week. Benson Boone, but I kind of think some of the hate is because he's trying so hard to dress feminine / like Harry Styles. Is he the one who does the song that's like, please stay, I want you, I need you, oh God. That's the only song I know by him. I saw somebody saying that it sounds like an audition for The Voice, which I think is true. But I don't hate the song. But that's the only thing I know about him is that one song. Rest in peace, Tramp Stamps. You would have been tolerated better in 2010. Yes, LMAO, the Flip Sky. Oh! Back in my day, the Flip Sky was Tyler from 21 Pilots. Back in my day. He used to do a lot of flips. I saw 21 Pilots, Fall Out Boy, and Panic at the Disco all in concert on the same night. And the 21 Pilots guy did a lot of flips, and then Brendan Urie came out and was feeling old and washed up, so Brendan Urie also did a couple of flips, and was very, very drunk. Not trying to push anything, I'm just curious if we're going to talk about Blake and Taylor, because I'm so curious about this weird manufactured beef. Oh, I read the article at the beginning where it was they aren't going to they aren't subpoenaing her anymore. I think that it's completely just made up and pushed by Friedman. An emo kid dream. Yes, it's like I think about that sometimes and I'm like, how the hell did that 3-header happen? It was my first like big stadium concert that I ever went to for like a real band. I went with my sister and her then boyfriend, now husband, I think about that all the time. I hadn't listened to 21 Pilots prior to that album. This was the Save Rock and Roll tour, so it was like right when they came back from their hiatus. But I hadn't listened to 21 Pilots, and then I think they played like almost their entire first album when they were opening for that tour, and then I ended up getting very into them. Sometimes I'll put on Vessel, and I will be so shocked at how I remember every single word. I was very into 21 Pilots. It was brief, but it happened. It was real. Bebo urine. 21 toilets and Bebo urine is very funny. I saw that tour too. Brendan Urie was holding a sandwich when he did a flip for some reason. That I can picture that. I can picture that. I remember he was really drunk, and he was saying he was like, everybody needs there to be an anti-hero, and I'm gonna be Walter White or something like that. And I was just like, what the fuck is he talking about? But it was fun. It was fun. To be honest, True Paramore and Old Fall Out Boy are the only things keeping me afloat right now. I should listen to some Fall Out Boy. Vessel was technically their third album, but first on early label. Good correction. Yeah, the first one that you used to be able to find on Spotify. Although you can sometimes find the older ones on Spotify now, I think, because I have Addict with a pen on one of my articles, one of my playlists. I mean, yeah, they did make music for a long time. I forgot, because like Kitchen Sink and stuff isn't even on Vessel. But yeah, it's the one with the old men on it. They played most of the album with the old men on it. My friend got me into 21 Pilots after Blurry Face when she had a falling out with another friend, so I knew none of the songs, but I had a great time, and now I love them. They were really good live, I feel like. I'm no longer a concert person, because it would murder my head, but I did enjoy that concert. I'm not sure that in 2025 I would go to a 21 Pilots concert, but I'm glad that I, as like a 15-year-old or whatever, got to go to a 21 Pilots Panic at the Disco Fall Out Boy concert. That was actually really fun. Yeah, I think that the tactic with the subpoena and stuff was to just make the headlines that they wanted to make and get people speculating that they're not friends and that they secretly hate each other and all of that. And I don't believe that. I don't believe that Taylor Swift is going to come out against Blake Lively, and I think that Taylor Swift is supportive of Blake Lively. I think, like, the statement from Trey from a couple of weeks ago made sense, where it was pointing out that Taylor had been on tour during and wasn't like on the set of It Ends With Us, and has nothing to do with the claims of Blake stealing the movie. I think, honestly, especially given that as far as I'm concerned, Scooter Braun orchestrated Snakegate, and Snakegate was probably the worst point in Taylor Swift's life, when we think about the way that like Snakegate and the sexual assault trial and everything kind of all go together. So I think that there was probably a conversation made around at some point at the idea of like, hey, maybe don't drag yourself into this. And I feel like, considering that Blake opted not to put the names of some of the other women who had complaints in her complaint when she amended it, I think Blake is thinking about how to try to protect other women from going through the same smear campaign as she is. And so I wouldn't be surprised by like an agreement to pull back in private. thing about the misogyny slop ecosystem is they will take valid criticism about certain women, like Katie's cultural appropriation, for example, and then mesh it with pure misogyny. Yes. You got an ad about a 10-year-old becoming a cop? That's weird. I should have political ads turned off, at least as far as they give me an option to. I think, because sometimes some of it is like on your end and some of it's on my end. But I did try to make sure that I had political ads turned off, because I don't want anybody getting ads for like fucking Turning Point USA or whatever on my videos. I wonder if there's like a different thing for streams. I'll have to take a look at it. Yeah, Paramore was one of her opening things. I guess, like, even if Taylor didn't support Blake right now, why would she make a statement anyway? What would it even do for her? I think if she made a statement, the only thing that it would do would be to give Baldoni a way to try to sue her for defamation. Like, I think that that's why I think that they talked about it. I think Blake's team did speak to Taylor's attorney about the possibility of texts coming out in court, and when Taylor's dad asked Baldoni's team what could happen, words were twisted that Blake threatened to leak texts. I've mentioned on one of the other streams, too, I think considering the fact that there's the website and that they keep saying we want all the receipts to be out there, even though they don't actually want the receipts that are troubling for Baldoni to be out there, I think that it's not insane if they would have said, hey, if you get subpoenaed, they might leak your texts. Like, I don't think that that's a threat. I think that that's being realistic, considering the fact that other texts have gotten leaked. Oh, bye, Maggie. Have a good rest of your day. Yours is the only channel where I'm not constantly being pushed PragerU ads. It's a nice break. I'm glad that that works, at least. Has there been any woman who's Blake's friend side with Baldoni? Every month they seem to suggest someone new. I have not seen anybody like switch sides. I don't think. So obvious to me that Taylor is avoiding work / paparazzi right now. I'm just hoping it means she's working on new music, LOL, but she's clearly avoiding the public eye right now. Yeah, I think so too. I don't think they have anything. They're just throwing shit at the wall and hoping for the best. Yeah. I think they wanted... I mean, again, like Blake's representative said in the statement, it's been in that crisis planning team document from the beginning that they wanted to try to capitalize on the Swifties and to accuse Taylor Swift of using feminism against weaponizing feminism, which is so funny because like weaponizing feminism is genuinely what Baldoni did. Taylor is very vocal about those who wrong her, even to her own detriment. She's no longer being deposed. She can legally speak out against Blake at any moment without consequence. I don't think she has any reason to want to. Like, I don't think that it tracks with anything I know about Taylor. Yeah. Well, yeah, I just kind of wanted to talk about that and then kind of do a temperature check on how everybody else was feeling about the Hailey Bieber stuff, because I think I am going to do a video about that. And I really appreciate the chance to kind of bounce some ideas. I think I'm gonna start doing some research off camera for some other videos, so I'm probably gonna cut the research stream here. But I really appreciate everybody hanging out and chatting. This was a fun way to spend an hour and a half, and I love you. And get your Womb World shirts in the description if you haven't already, and you're interested. But yeah, thank you for showing up and hanging out, and I'll see you soon.